Hello, creative freelancers and solopreneurs. Today on Coaching for Creatives, we're going to talk about the three biggest obstacles to your success as a creative service-based freelancer. It may seem like a big, ambitious thing to try to narrow down all of the possible obstacles across so many different kinds of freelancing businesses for photographers, videographers, writers, designers, coaches, and consultants. It may seem impossible to narrow this down to just three obstacles when we think about all the different areas of our business and all the different ways that we can be stopped or challenged in our businesses. But I promise you, when you start to think about your obstacles in your creative business by narrowing them down and putting them into one of these three specific categories, your life and your business will start to change. Hi, I'm McKay. I'm the founder of Business of Creativity, and I'm the host for the weekly live broadcast of Coaching for Creatives. And this episode is all about how to help you identify and overcome the three biggest obstacles that might be stopping you from having the kind of success that you want and deserve in your creative business. The thing we're going to start with today is the thing that shows up for many creatives when they have multiple passions, when we have so many ideas, so many different things that we want to be doing. Maybe we even have a to-do list that has a bunch of shoulda, woulda, coulda, oughtas on it. Whatever is happening, especially if you are currently experiencing a feeling of overwhelm, where there's too many things going on, too many directions, too many opportunities, too many possibilities, too many obligations. It's just all too much. What's happening is that this is a lack of focus. So focus and what to focus on and where we're going to invest our attention, our intention, our time, our energy, our money, what really matters to us, what's going to make the big difference for our business, what specifically is going to generate revenue or move us forward towards our dreams and towards our goals. What are we going to focus on? Sometimes it can be really challenging to figure that out, to figure out what is my priority. And so the main tools that I use for figuring out my main priority is I lean on my business coach. I check in with my accountability partner. I reach out to my mastermind group. I use a tool called Eisenhower Matrix to really look at what is important, what is urgent, what is both important and urgent, and what is neither or neither important nor urgent. And really organizing on what do I need to focus my time, energy, and attention on. And I think that a lot of times we get caught up in figuring out what to focus on because there's different levels of importance and urgency depending on what kind of a time frame we're looking on. So for example, if you're just trying to figure out what do I need to focus on today or for the next hour, that's going to give you different answers and different parameters. If you're thinking about what am I going to focus on building in my career or in my business or my revenues or my client base over the next year or 3 to 5 years, you're going to get different answers. But each level of focus can bring us closer to having more of a sense of what matters, to be able to allocate our time better, to have a sense of purpose, to actually getting some stuff done that really has meaning and matter. So I propose to you that the first of the three biggest obstacles for any creative service-based freelancer is focus. How do you know when you can stop focusing on that? How do you know when you can shift your focus? How will you know when that particular task is done and you can stop focusing on it? How can you be clear about what success in that focus area means to you. Without that clarity of what that focus means and why it matters and how you're going to measure, you could be pouring your time and energy into something without really feeling like you're making any progress. You can get really burnt out. You can have that sense of doing a lot of work but not really getting anywhere. You can stay stuck in a mindset of scarcity or things not working, when in fact things are working. You just haven't measured them, or you're not clear about what really matters to you. Once you have your area of focus, getting that clarity about what matters and getting that clarity about what success actually looks like, that can really support you. Even having clear goals, what you focus on is great, but if you don't have a clear goal, a clear destination, trying to figure out the actions to take or measuring your success or progress and feeling motivated to go and do it, you can be missing out on all of those pieces. So if you have that current feeling of burnout or a sense of a lack of motivation, maybe it's time to reconnect into meaning and clear measurements of success for you. Getting that clarity on why things matter, getting the clarity on what success looks like for you, that's the second biggest obstacle to creating success in your creative freelance business, is that lack of clarity, that lack of really clear meaning and measuring of metrics. All right. I'm sure if you have been watching this program or reading my blogs and articles, you are probably already guessing what my third biggest obstacle is. And this is one of those things that I have just seen over and over again with so many creative freelancers, with so many solopreneurs, where we do our best to get the information we need, we get the training we need, we get the knowledge we need, we have all these ideas, we maybe even focus on the idea that matters, we might even set up clear goals, and we might be even clear on our meaning, and yet nothing is happening, and nothing will happen without action. This is why all of our programs are set up to support implementation. This is why I run my mastermind group, to really help people take both consistent action and meaningful action. So the last obstacle that is going to get in your way is not having clear actions, or not doing actions, getting in action, taking action, whether you're taking consistent or meaningful action. And meaningful action, gang, is going to align with whatever your focus and your clear metrics are. Then you'll be able to create meaningful action, the how to do it. Focus is, what are you going to focus on? Clarity is about why it matters and what does success look like for you and the meaning of it. And then finally, action is, how are you going to make it happen? What actions are you going to take, or are you taking, to get it done, to move towards those goals with velocity, to start creating your dreams in your reality? Action, and deciding what those actions are, and being held accountable to them, and being set up and celebrated for your successes when you do reach them, and giving and creating for yourself that motivation to keep taking the actions necessary, especially when some of those actions aren't really very fun, or they don't necessarily give us the same kind of juju or the same kind of feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment that maybe our creative work does. So a lot of times we might even know the actions we should be taking, but we're not taking them for whatever reasons, for lots of different reasons. And mostly it's that disconnect between why they matter to us, or a disconnect between having a clear focus and we're getting distracted or moved away from the actions that really matter to us. Those are the three biggest obstacles in having a successful creative entrepreneurial or solopreneur freelance business. It's really setting yourself up with a specific focus, with a clear understanding of why and how you're going to measure, and meaningful actions that you consistently take to move you forward on your journey. I challenge you, if you are a creative service-based freelancer and you are stuck in an area in your life, or you feel like there's an obstacle that you have that doesn't fit into this, that is like a total outlier, I challenge you, share it with me in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to help see and perhaps maybe even discover for myself, if it really does, see how it fits within this one framework of the 3 biggest obstacles. If you can find the skills or develop the skills to overcome these 3 biggest obstacles, that you will have a much higher velocity towards your own success in your creative freelance business. I'm always here to answer your questions. If you would like to have my one-to-one input on your creative business and what your obstacles are, please reach out and book a free strategy meeting. That's what they're there for, is to serve and support you, my community members, in really learning how to thrive and master your creative business. Thanks for joining me. I'm Aura McKay. This has been Coaching for Creatives, and I will see you here next week.